How does gluten-free living work? Gluten is a kind of protein that is found in different food sources, grain and wheat. While the bulk of us have the ability to process this protein, this is not true for many others, as opposed, their body battles with it each time they consume any gluten. There are some people who react negatively to gluten. Their body will really battle processing it, as it is considered as the foe and the body is prepared to assault. To this end, it can prompt nutritious inadequacies and furthermore to constant weariness. The body can't utilize the supplements taken, and thus much energy is spent battling the gluten. Notwithstanding, many individuals choose to roll out such an improvement to feel better and to advance lifespan. Many studies discuss their gluten-free eating routine, and that will in general stand out of the normal individual as well. In this content, we will explain that. Gluten, what is it? Gluten is a protein normally found in certain grains, including wheat, grain. It behaves like a cover, keeping food intact and adding a stretchy quality. For example, pizza dough without gluten, when the dough is stretched, it will tear. Different grains that contain gluten are wheat berries, spelt, durum, emmer, semolina, farina, farro, graham, Karasin wheat, einkorn, and triticale. Oats, however, normally gluten-free, frequently contain gluten from cross-tainting when they are become close, or handled in similar placements as the grains recorded previously. Gluten is likewise sold as wheat gluten, or seitan, a famous vegetarian high-protein food. More subtle wellsprings of gluten incorporate soy sauce and adjusted food starch. But without gluten, choices of these items are accessible and marked as such to follow Food and Medication Organization sans gluten naming guideline. The health benefits of gluten. Pessimistic media consideration on wheat and gluten has made certain individuals question its place in a fortifying eating regimen. There is minimal distributed exploration to help these cases. As a matter of fact, distributed research proposes the inverse. Without celiac illness, specialists found no relationship between long-haul dietary gluten utilization and coronary illness risk. As a matter of fact, the discoveries likewise recommended that non-celiac people who keep away from gluten might expand their gamble of coronary illness, because of the potential for diminished utilization of entire grains. Many examinations have connected entire grain utilization with further developed well-being results. For instance, the rates of heart disease and stroke, type 2 diabetes, and all-cause death were significantly lower in the groups that consumed the most whole grains, including wheat, 2 to 3 servings daily, compared to the groups that consumed the least, less than 2 servings daily. Gluten problems. What's not perfect about gluten is that it can cause serious aftereffects in specific people. Some people react differently to gluten because their immune systems overreact and attack it because the body perceives it as a toxin. In the event that an unconsciously delicate individual keeps on eating gluten, this makes a sort of fight ground, bringing about irritation. The aftereffects can go from gentle fatigue, bloating, alternating constipation and diarrhea to serious unintentional weight loss, malnutrition, intestinal damage, as found in the immune system issue celiac illness. According to research, people with celiac disease also have a slightly higher risk of osteoporosis, anemia, infertility, nerve disorders, and cancer in rare instances. These conditions are caused by a lack of calcium and iron absorption. But is that the damage may be reversed by eliminating gluten from the diet? Celiac disease is mostly treated with a gluten-free diet. Celiac illness is hereditary, so in the event that anybody in your family has it, it is necessary to monitor and be careful. A few people have a few side effects and others don't have any whatsoever. A few side effects. The most typical of these are headaches, fertility problems, depression, bone pain, anemia, abdominal pain, bloating, chronic fatigue, diarrhea, gases, weight changes. Instructions. Gluten diet can be testing, conceivably requiring the direction of an enlisted dietitian to realize which food sources contain gluten and to guarantee that satisfactory supplements are gotten from without gluten choices. Different circumstances that might require the decrease or end of gluten in eating regimen. It is essential to take note of that gluten is an issue just for the individuals who respond adversely to it, or test positive for celiac sickness. A great many people can and have eaten gluten the majority of their lives, with no negative side effects. What is a sans gluten diet? This is basically an eating routine that eliminates all food sources containing or mixed with gluten. Nonetheless, since gluten-containing entire grains contain fiber and supplements including B nutrients, magnesium, and iron, it means a lot to compensate for these missing supplements. Alongside eating normally without gluten food varieties in their entire structure like organic products, vegetables, nuts, seeds, fish, eggs, and poultry, the accompanying entire grains are additionally innately sans gluten. Milk, sorghum, millet, buckwheat, quinoa, brown, black or red rice, amaranth, corn, teff, gluten-free oats. It's additionally key not to depend on handled without gluten food sources that might be high in calories, sugar, immersed fat, and sodium, and low in supplements, for example, without gluten treats, chips, and other nibble food varieties. Unfortified processed rice, tapioca, corn, or potato flours are frequently used in the preparation of these foods. For the people who are not gluten prejudiced, there is no information to show a particular advantage in following a without gluten diet, especially whenever handled sans gluten items become the pillar of the eating regimen. Finally, the wisdom of the matter. Everyone is his own doctor. Always study and check what you eat. Thank you for watching.